Welcome and thank you for joining Southern California Business Report on ABC News and Talks, KMET 1490 AM, 98.1 FM, and KMET TV. I'm Yvette Walker, live blasting our signal from the center of Southern California, serving a population of over 25 million. Get us crystal clear and on demand by downloading the free live streaming app on Google Play and the Apple App Store. As always, a huge shout out to the team. Mitch, Bill, and Sean, I love you guys, and to our special advisory committee that can be found at www.scbrtalk.com/advisory committee. Click on the link and learn about the incredible leaders doing the work. Okay, everybody, today I have the distinct honor to introduce Mr. Kurt Hagman, who was selected to serve as San Bernardino County's 4th District in 2014 and named Chairman of the Board of Supervisors in January 2019 and 2021. The 4th District covers Chino Hills, Montclair, Ontario, and the southern portion of Upland. Hagman serves on multiple boards, committees, and commissions like the Ontario Airport Authority, Inland Empire Health Plan, and San Bernardino County Transportation Authority. Along with his service on the Board of Supervisors, Kurt works tirelessly to represent the community and is often seen working to bring new ideas and better opportunities for families, businesses, workers, and nonprofit organizations in the county. Chairman Hagman holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology at UCLA. His wife, Rosanna, and his family currently live in the Chino Valley, and he is also proud to serve as a major in the California State Guard. Thank you so much for being with us today, Supervisor Hagman.
Yvette, thank you for having me on.
Perfect. So as you know, my first question to each of my guests is to please share what inspired you to pursue a life of public service.
Well, for me, I think I grew up being a volunteer-aholic, I guess. Everything from when I was very little, being a Boy Scout and Eagle Scout, getting into multiple service clubs in high school, and just really enjoyed giving back and bringing people together to work together on different things. I was in the military, and then I got out and started a couple of commissions and other volunteer groups in the city. I think at one point I was in 7 different volunteer groups at the same time with no aspiration to ever go into politics. They never even thought about that point. I was basically recruited by a council member at that time that says, "Hey, I got an opening in the Park and Recs Commission on the council. You're very involved in committee. Would you consider joining it?" And it's like, okay, I have no idea what that is, but sure. I had a young family in the city and wanted to make sure that we're all working together to have recreation activities. I thought, what a great job they have. And that was my first taste of public policy, and I was bitten and smitten by it, so I've been following ever since. I really enjoy collaborating with other people, and with my residents and other whatever board members we're on to work toward a common vision and see it happening.
Absolutely. What an incredible segue into this world. Please talk about the Board of Supervisors for those that may not be very familiar about this body and the impact that it has in their communities. Please share with us the landscape of what the Board of Supervisors is, what they do, and how they serve our communities.
Thank you. Great question. A lot of the county employees, a lot of times, you tell someone, "Hey, I see your ID. You work for the county. I'm a county supervisor." "Oh, supervisor what department?" "No, the county of San Bernardino." So it is a title that most people don't recognize. And I've had the honor to serve my residents as both a council member, a mayor, a state legislator for 3 terms, now in the county board for 3 terms. But really what we do in unincorporated counties are the same things that the cities do. We're a group of 5 individuals elected by the region that we represent. The county's divided up into basically 20% population. Every time you hear about that census is when they draw the lines where the county is growing in different areas. So we all have equal population roughly in our districts, but our areas are vastly different. Mine, the West End, is very tiny compared to my colleagues who have a ginormous expanse of land. As you know, San Bernardino County is the largest geographical county in the United States. It's bigger than 9 states. So in the unincorporated area, we take on the same duties as the cities do, as the 5 board of council members do. And then for the entire county, we work as an agent of the state and the federal government to work on the programs that you may or may not know about. So think about weights and measures. No one ever thinks about that. We have a county department that goes out and makes sure that the gasoline pumps gives you 1 gallon of gas when you turn that on and get 1 gallon pumped. So we have weights and measures. We have 29 different departments, and then some. We do the county probation, child protective services, a lot of the health and human services, a lot of the safety nets that both the state and the federal government and local, for that matter, put out there is managed by the county of San Bernardino, whether or not you live in the city or out of the city. And then a lot of traditional things, infrastructure. We work with the sheriff's department and the probation departments and lots of different things. So it's a great position to have. We really, in my world, probably about 85-90% of my districts in the incorporated area with the 5 cities you mentioned, about 10% of unincorporated land. My main role for me as individual supervisor is connect with my city governments and help them make their cities better as we grow on. So it's a lot of fun, but we handle a lot of different responsibility. The total number of county employees, I think we're up to 27,000 county employees with over a $10 billion general fund budget. So it's quite large.
Absolutely. And something that I really value and thank the Board of Supervisors for is the way you led our county through the pandemic. And please talk a little bit about that, because I believe that was really a key determining factor in realizing and enjoying the economic catalyst that we have today, right? Because when there were surrounding counties that were maybe coming down harder on business owners, the county was actually actively looking for ways to work with businesses to give them, PPE and supplies to operate safely, but to continue the economic engine that exists in our region. Please talk a little bit about that.
Well, thank you. I mean, it was something, as chairman at the time, we never experienced it before. So there's no playbook. But the one thing I always had faith in is our residents' mental capability to make their own decisions and not have big government come back and tell you what to do. So for me, it was a silly policy decision when we're releasing criminals out of jail to go out and give tickets to hardworking businesses trying to stay open. So we got together as a board, and direction is that our motto was we're going to educate everyone and we're going to support them the best way we can. Like you said, we're going to get out in front of the PPE. We're going to get out of standards and try to make sure that every person had the opportunity to at least be informed and then make their own decisions. We did not mandate when the vaccines came out for our public safety. We took alternatives to protect our public by testing and other things. We really trust in the belief of it. And I think the results we didn't know we were doing the right thing at the time, but that's what our core beliefs are. And that's what we followed. And in results, we had less impact in San Bernardino County than many of the surrounding counties. And we didn't sue one person. We didn't give out one ticket. We counseled many businesses that were clearly, violating the state law because it wasn't local. The state ordinances and health ordinances. We would go out and say, "Hey, do you know you're in violation of this? Just want to let you know." But we didn't take any hard action. And our percentage of businesses that made it through, that stayed open, and frankly, I just didn't believe the one size fit all the state of California anyway. They were saying you could see some of the policies were meant for very dense population areas like downtown LA. That doesn't apply to some of my residents up in the high desert of the mountains, and to stay outdoors while you're eating when it's, below freezing in the Big Bear because it's winter. Those things just don't make sense. So we try to be very pragmatic and very practical in the way we dealt with it.
Absolutely. So that leads us to one of the first analytics that the county can be extremely proud of, which is the current unemployment rate. Please talk about that and how that compares to state and national numbers.
Well, yeah, thank you. I believe that San Bernardino County, Inland Empire in general, is a growth area. We're seeing, as we hear about population leaving California, we're still increasing in population. And there's a couple of indicators for that. One is our unemployment rate is lower than the state average. San Bernardino County is 4.2, state average is 4.5. Nationwide is 3.7 right now. So we still need to do better than what we're doing, but a lot of that is because, as you know, we're heavily regulated and have lots of other rules that kind of slow down business. But we are leading the state in unemployment. We're leading in population growth right now. And we just got our budget numbers back a couple weeks ago. We were predicting a 3.5%, 4% growth. We were over 7% last year. So those are good numbers for us. So we continue to see that trend. I think it's a combination by our policies and we're business friendly, we're pragmatic, we're accessible, we work together as a team, as a board with our city's partners, and obviously we have places to grow out in the IE and especially San Bernardino County. So we see a lot of that developer money coming in, a lot of businesses moving out to us. So we're very excited for the direction we're going.
So earlier you mentioned a $10 billion budget that you manage and you invest in our communities. Please paint a picture of where those priorities lie and how you create programs to ensure that each priority is fully realized and given the attention it deserves.
Well, great. And the budget grows because our county is being successful right now. And I think it's interesting, or at least for the residents to know, that different levels of government get income at different reasons or different ways to do it, I guess the base. Because we all heard about a state budget deficit this year and how bad it was, because the state gets their income off of income tax for the most part. The cities get their income off of sales tax for the most part. This is always exceptions and just the generality. And the county gets off property tax. So as the county continues to grow, that budget continues to grow bigger. But every year we have, obviously the federal and state dollars are programmed to go to certain programs. We have really no flexibility on those programs. They tell us this is what we want you to do. Here's the resources for it. But for us to look at general fund expenditures, general fund augmentations of programs, there's several factors that the board always agrees upon. First of all, we know this year is really focused on homeless and trying to combat the homelessness in the county, that we don't have the problem that our neighboring counties have, quite a bit different, but we still have ours. And we want to build a system that will help people up back on their feet, not to take care of them for the rest of their life unless it's needed to be done, but really to help them get back on their feet. So some of that's taken some of our priorities and it focus. Public safety. We all believe that if you don't have safe streets, safe neighborhoods, then economically we won't do well. Our students won't do well. So we really back our local law enforcement and our district attorney's office to make sure that they have the resources they need. And we spent a lot of money the last few years on the illegal marijuana grows up in the high desert. So we put millions of dollars toward that for extra enforcement, and we really made a difference in that to make sure they don't continue to get a foothold. Disaster preparedness. We have, again, you have a county the size of many states, so there's different things to go on. We have fires, we have snowstorms, we have flooding, we have a bunch of different things. How do we make sure that we're prepared for the worst and make sure that our county employees and agencies that we work with have the resources they need to carry out their primary missions? That's always important. For me, a lot of it is infrastructure. We all hear about bad roads and this and that, but not just maintenance, but also investment into the future. For example, in my area, like we talked about earlier, 10% unincorporated area, that many of those properties don't have access to sewer. They're still on septic. And this is the West End, and we still have people on septic. And even though it works fine for them, it really limits the opportunity for larger lots to be redeveloped or to be developed into other projects because you're not up to the system. And it costs so much to put that in. So we're working with, my incorporated was with Montclair and the city of Chino, working with those two cities to see if the county can take some one-time money to invest in sewers that will allow the next 10, 15, 20 years for that region to attract investment for other projects. by helping prime that pump. We talk a lot about high-speed internet. It's crucial to have everyone have access to that. So we're trying to work with our private providers to make sure that our residents have access to that. So that's some of the stuff on infrastructure project. And then it also is a big importance to me and my board to invest in quality of life issues. What can we do to help make residents want to work, play, and stay here in our county? We don't want them to go to Orange County or LA to go have entertainment or go to restaurants. We want to bring it here. So we're working on a number of big projects on our county parks and investing into entertainment options for our 2.2 million population of San Bernardino County. And so if you take that population, again, we're larger than 12 states in population, just our county. So we have enough inertia here, we have enough nexus here to support everything another city would have.
Absolutely. Wow. One of the things I'm extremely proud of when I'm out in the community and I'm informing the public many times of how incredible our region is, how successful our leaders have been, and then the NACO awards, breaking records for awards obtained by county officials for their incredible work. Please talk about recent NACO awards that we can all be proud of.
Well, it's exciting for us, and no one knows what a National Association of Counties is, but it's our way to compare ourselves with others in our industry. There's larger counties in population, there's smaller ones, but they have a national organization for all the counties in the United States. And what they try to do is highlight and look at innovations. That's the great thing about us. If we're allowed to innovate, we can learn from other counties and other entities how to do our jobs better. So back in 2020, right when COVID was happening, I said, look, we're going to call this Innovate 2020. We're going to make this and empower this fantastic team of county employees we have to say, hey, it's okay to take a chance. It's okay to bring technology into what you do. In fact, I told them, if you're doing the same thing you were doing 7 years ago, even 5 years ago, you're probably doing it wrong, because if you're in business, you'd be out of business. We're going to back you as a board. We're going to back you as administration, but take some chances and go out and start innovating what you do better. And since the last 3 years in a row, we have been number one in North America for the best counties, the most number of awards. And every year we keep setting new records of awards. So we went from, 82 to next year we got 160, and this year we're over 200. And wow. I always tease my friends at Riverside, but Riverside got 4. So we got over 200, they got 4. So it gives you a comparison that we really are trying to be innovative in the way we provide our services to our residents, and that way it makes them more efficient as well.
That's remarkable. So let's start with some of those initiatives that you're targeting, and let's start with your homeless. What does that landscape look like today in San Bernardino County, and how are the efforts and the policies that you're creating alongside your fellow supervisors positively impacting that?
Well, we've seen that across California. Unfortunately, we became an area that seems to collect and stabilize homeless persons. So over COVID, it accelerated quite a bit. And so that's why the panic now after COVID, hey, we need to work on this. For us here in San Bernardino County, last year it stabilized to what it was the previous year, roughly about 2% difference. But we have about 2,900 unsheltered homeless in 2023. And this year, on our homeless count, we have about 3,055. So it's a relatively smaller number than some of the bigger counties, but we still want to, those are people we need to help out. So we started a homeless subcommittee. Chair Rao put me and my colleague Joe on it to work with our staff to come up with a plan that will look at a solution, not just to give a bed, because we know that it doesn't work. We need to find out really individually what's that person's need is. Sometimes it is just a place to stay safe for a little bit and to pass them off back to the family. Sometimes it's giving them a chance to earn some resources and get them some cheap rent to get in. But other times they have drug or alcohol abuse, mental issues, drug needs. And so we're developing a complete system right now. A couple facilities we call navigation centers here in the Valley that will be the intake. That's where you start off with, and where we assess the individual person's needs and issues, give them the right care, get them basically the goal is to get them stabilized in an environment where they can be self-sufficient on their own, stabilized, and then we're going to help them with job placement, or if they're in permanent disability or something like that, we'll find some permanent solutions. But we really do look at the ability to make a difference with these programs. And so we're excited that these things are unveiling now, and we hopefully will not see that. We'll see a decrease in numbers versus an increase we had. But COVID really, added a lot to those numbers, and that's what we're seeing.
Right. Do we have an idea? Do you have scouted locations for these navigation centers in San Bernardino County?
Yeah, we already have one in the high desert. It's doing very well. Where we have a building selected in, I'm called the West End. It's not quite in my district, but it's the West End that the 7 cities are going in on together to help. And again, we're here to partner up with our cities, because probably 90% of them are in incorporated cities. They're incorporated city residents. So our goal is to support our cities and find a solution, but it doesn't have to be individual one, because some cities have 1 or 2 homeless in it. You don't need a whole system for 1 or 2. You need to share in that system. And then another one near San Bernardino, which is the biggest area that we have. We have over 2,000 homeless in the city of San Bernardino. So those are the 3 main areas. And we also have some medical beds and some other type of supporting services that go to these navigation centers. And our goal is to add our expertise, our behavioral health, and other, we're working with IHP to bring the medical and mental services that people need as we put them through the process.
That's remarkable. Please talk about how federal funding has contributed to these efforts.
Absolutely. So it's a big priority both for the federal government and the state government. And recently, we requested some funding from Congressman Norma Torres' office. She was able to give us $850,000 toward this project. Also, the county received 11 federal earmarks for a total of $13.5 million over this last year alone. So I think we got more earmarks in LA County for the first time. And so we are working together with our state and federal representatives. They're great partners of ours. As you know, I came from the state, and so we actually know each other, and so we could go out with our problems. And they've been fighting hard for our residents of San Bernardino County, bringing some of their tax dollars back to the county so we can spend it on the programs and like homelessness and infrastructure and things we've been working on.
That's excellent. Okay, so we're coming up on a break. Everybody, you do not want to miss the second part of this. Yvette Walker with ABC News, Southern California Business Report, here today with Supervisor Kurt Hagman, with a strong background in business and a commitment to public service, who has been living in San Bernardino County as a member of the Board of Supervisors since 2014. Hagman's vision and leadership has been instrumental in shaping policies and driving positive change in the county. In this exclusive interview, we delve into his insights, initiatives, and vision for the future of San Bernardino County when we return.
Thank you. I'm talking too much, huh?
Okay, no, that's perfect. So now we have until 3:30 to jump back on and continue the conversation. We're going to pick up with Brightline. So at 3:30, we will start with Brightline. So if you need to get some water, take a break, enjoy my note. So this is all exciting stuff. It's especially the part that you mentioned, that you have, the county has more earmark funds from the federal government than LA for the first time. That's impressive.
Yeah. we have our federal congressional delegations in the right spot, and it's bipartisan. Got Ken Calver, Republican. I got Pete Aguilar, Norma Torres, and Democrats, but they're all in the appropriation committee. So if anybody has a project, they support each other's project.
That's amazing.
So there is some bipartisan work in Congress.
That's inspiring. That's encouraging.
Yes, we need it.
Especially in today's landscape. It's like people, if you don't know, just please know we need to work together.
Exactly.
Just look around, right? Whatever's been happening in the past or whatever techniques or methods have been applied were not working previously. And so it's time to adjust and to see that collaboration and bipartisan support of these critical issues is very encouraging.
I'm trying to look at, because I don't think we'll get through all this. What would be some of the highlights? I could go with anything to pick it, but I think people rather hear about Prado Park than our stormwater conveyance.
Okay. And the Brightline update too.
Yeah. Oh, the Brightline, the park improvements, some of the infrastructure stuff is important, but no one's going to go, oh, yeah, fix their stormwater.
Right. Well, and the airport, of course, that's a huge one.
Yeah, both Chino and Ontario. So, but I can hit them lightly, whatever, if you just want to. I won't. Time flies when I'm talking with you. It goes by quick.
Perfect. So let's do that. We're going to come on in a moment. Clock.
You know what's funny is we're going to build Brightline in 3 years, and how long has California been talking about the California high-speed rail?
Ridiculous. Embarrassing. Please put that into perspective for us, Supervisor. Okay.
I forgot what it was, but it's been at least 20 years since we started on that.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Yvette Walker here with ABC News and Talk Southern California Business Report, here today with Kurt Hagman, who has a strong background in business and a commitment to public service. He has been serving San Bernardino County as a member of the Board of Supervisors since 2014. Hagman's vision and leadership has been instrumental in shaping policies and driving positive change in the county. In this exclusive interview, we delve into insights, initiatives, and vision for the future of San Bernardino County. Thank you again for being with us today, Supervisor Hagman.
Thank you for letting us share what's going on exciting in San Bernardino County.
Perfect. So prior to the break, we spoke about your $10 billion budget, your focus, the critical initiatives that the county is looking to support, and of course, your navigation centers that you are preparing and making available to the homeless population. So with that said, we're going to move on with some exciting updates with Brightline. Please talk about what Brightline is, what it's designed to do, and when we can expect to hop on board and ride it.
Which we're all hoping is very soon. So Brightline will be a high-speed, fully electric rail that will go from Rancho Cucamonga to Las Vegas. Now, they already have Brightline East, which is in Florida. So this is a private company doing this, which I'm kind of thinking their plan, in which we believe they'll be there, will have the 218-mile track system built within 3 years. It's a $12 billion investment. We'll have it done in 3 years. And we all keep thinking, when's California high-speed rail going to happen? It's been working for 20 years. We haven't seen anything. But this is part of the innovation for San Bernardino County. Went out and met with them. We do know there's a lot of traffic on the 15 freeway going up to that Las Vegas. A lot of both goods and people going just traveling out. This is a way that you can get from Rancho to Las Vegas within 2 hours, a couple stops in between, nice smooth ride. So we're very excited to have it. I was able to go at the groundbreaking a couple months ago. They have the land. Even the federal government kicked in, I think, $4 or $5 billion into the $12 billion cost. They will have a plan to go by the 2020 Olympics, so we're excited to do that. Be part of that and work with them. But they are a private company, but working with San Bernardino County Transportation Authority, which I also sat on, and actually I was the president of that a couple years ago as well, that they're the ones we started the agreement with. So this is part of us improving our infrastructure and transportation available for our residents.
Absolutely, because the I-15, it's basically 2 lanes each way. And just last week, a truck overturned carrying lithium batteries, which stopped traffic flow, I believe, north towards Las Vegas for almost how long? For a day, a
It
full
was
day?
almost 2 days. Yeah, we had some
A long
diversion
time.
around it, but we had over 10,000, 11,000 vehicles stuck on the 15 while that happened. So we need to figure out better ways of doing this. And I like the fact that again we're pushing the edge in technology. In fact, our Redlands Passenger Rail system that we have is the first zero emission rail unit in North America. So again, why catch up the technology, jump to the beginning of it? And Brightline's a good example of that. So we're excited to have them as partners.
That is really exciting. And one of the major transportation hubs that is under your purview as well is the Chino Airport. Please talk about the Chino Airport, where it's situated, who it serves, and some of the projects that are taking place there today.
Thank you for that too. Yeah, so Chino Airport's one of our 6 municipal airports in the county. This is our busiest one. It was built back in World War II, like many things was, to train pilots before they went to the Pacific. And since then, we've been dealing with private recreation and semi-commercial and charter aircraft of the Chino Airport. It is a very large runway. We could handle a bigger aircraft if we wanted to, but obviously we'll keep those going into Ontario International Airport. But it's needed a lot of help in revamping it. And without going through all the reasons why, there was many things with environmental lawsuits on there and some other projects that was done by previous administrations. But the airport's free and clear now. The board sent direction that we want to fix it up to be a prime location for private and charter aircraft going forward. There's going to be a lot of beautification projects, including putting fences around the outside and lots of infrastructure improvements and a lot of new building on it. Whether that be new hangars, a new flight base operation, which is you can include a hotel and other things for the pilots and travelers and passengers. But we're really going to fix it up. And it's needed because John Wayne's kicking a lot of their private aircraft out. Santa Monica is closing down. From the west side, they're moving a lot of those people who have their private airplanes or even smaller jets and twin engines to move out and go into our county. So it's going to be very pivotal for us to have that asset going forward, and we're going to put some money into it. So we're going to make it better.
That is exciting. So, what is the feedback that you're getting from the pilots and passengers and the community as a whole?
Well, they're excited for the attention. We also have a private third party that's basically marketing the airport to hiring users throughout the area. So a lot of the vacant land you see will eventually be developed, which will also put more resources back into the airport system to keep it maintained going forward. So it's about time we're doing some of it. We're obviously putting some of our revenues into it as well. But we're looking forward for the future of CNL, or Chino Airport.
That is exciting. And of course, Prado Regional Park. I know you're working on a huge project there. It's so exciting, not only for the immediate community, but for the region as a whole. Please talk about the projects, your vision, and when we can expect to enjoy the new facilities as they're built out.
Wow, there's so much going on in the area, and Prado's like the diamond in the rough in the middle of it. 1,700 acres of land, and a lot of things was going on the last few years too. We were expiring our lease with Prado Park with Army Corps of Engineers, which is the federal government, so we had to renew that lease. So that's done. The board set $30 million as an initial chunk of money to start working on fixing the park. A lot of it's ongoing, some of it's completed even. So a lot of the complaints I got from my local residents was, hey, the grass is not always green. How can you do that when you have a lake there? Well, the lake had so much sediment in it that was clogging up the pumps, and therefore the irrigation sprinklers weren't working. So we went through all 5 new of those, and we fixed them so they don't clog anymore. We went after some of the other maintenance of the facilities, as well as capital improvement projects. We're putting a new gatehouse and entry monument sign, so on the busier weekends, you're not hanging out in Euclid to get in. We put new playground equipment. I think it just got finished out there. We're putting a new splash pad in for the kids. So you go there right now for the summer while it's hot. Really plan to improve the RV campground, that whole area. and I want to increase the capacity as well as build some glamping sites for those people that don't have RVs. So you just drive up in your car and enjoy that great outdoors with your family. And because we have so many more people standing there, and with some help from Norma Torres as well, we were able to work on getting a brand new snack bar opening and new kitchen facilities, new docks. And so this is a lot of infrastructure improvements. That's currently ongoing. We also were the first one, again, back to innovation, one of the first users of Starlink on a government size. So we put Starlink in for have internet in those parks, and we've been doing that for a few years now, and we're working out very quick, very well. So different kind of infrastructure there as well. But what I'm really excited about is the projects we have coming in the next few months that we've been talking about. So I'm going to share them, although they're not completely inked and signed. But we really do believe we're going to get a 2028 Olympic venue where we had the 84 Olympics. So we're supposed to be hearing right after the Olympics is over. That'll be a major project for the area. We're going to build it for international competition, not just the Olympics. We're also next door to the golf course, for people who know where that is. We just entered into a long-term lease of Orange County Floods. We use that property. And we're hoping to build an outdoor concert theater or amphitheater that can seat anywhere from 9 to 14,000 people for concerts. And we're also planning to build and talking with I can't name the team, but somebody very big in the MLS soccer for a professional soccer field there as well, the stadium. So lots of, remember we talked about the first segment, quality of life investments by the county and private sector to really start to have options for our residents. So outdoor amphitheater for major concerts, something similar to Five Points Amphitheater that just closed down in Irvine, and as well as a major league soccer stadium over in that. We're also looking for other amenities in those areas, pickleball courts, where that's really big right now. But really want to invest in those parks. We're talking potentially hundreds of millions of dollars. That's not taxpayer dollars, by the way, because we're able to sell some surplus land that the county has and reinvest it back into these parks and stuff. So that's what we're looking to do going forward. So exciting times.
Absolutely. So, and then of course, the Ontario International Airport is such a tremendous part of our transportation, economic growth, and just a gem in the region. Please talk a little bit about Ontario International Airport and projections, growth, overviews that you've been able to oversee in your time as supervisor.
Well, what's great is a little over 7 years ago, it was still in LAWA's control. Los Angeles Worldwide Airports, or LAX, controlled our airport. And the deal actually went through about 7 years ago to bring it back to local control, JPA, a Joint Powers Authority between the City of Ontario and the County of San Bernardino. So I'm fortunate to sit on that board of the 5 board members on that. But it's just record-breaking month after month, year after year. Every time we have our board meeting, we go up and say, okay, well, last year we're up 17% from where we were last year. And so passengers, cargo is just really growing in more destinations, probably a new place every 3 months or more than that we're getting. We just announced, even more frequency flights to the same destinations. So it's really, really going strong. Now, we just celebrated officially 100th birthday because it was founded in 1923 as a strip airfield for the area, but now to see it grow into international airport. And again, that's with our partner agency. So December, the U.S. Customs Border Patrol opened up their new global enrollment center. So you don't have to go to Las Vegas or LA to go get it. You come right here to Ontario and do that. We would partner up with Clear, one of the few airports that has Clear entry on that. Our whole goal as a board is to give our residents a very nice experience. Quick, drive up and park. You're probably through security 5 to 10 minutes. You're sitting at your gate already, and try to add more destinations. Now, in the future and horizons, we are designing brand new terminals, lounges, restaurants, shopping for duty free. All that's going to come to Ontario with time. We're doing steps of infrastructure. A lot of those things you have to do to keep growing, like build new fuel farms and those type of things we're still working on. But it's exciting to be part of all this going on right now and to see the magical growth of Ontario. So if you're listening to IE, please continue to use Ontario International Airport. We're putting everything back. Most people don't know, not a penny comes off that airport. Anything that's generated in the airport stays in the airport. So it's very nice.
Well, it's remarkable, and it's really the only way I will travel is through Ontario International Airport. I've become accustomed to and quite frankly very spoiled with the efficiency and how streamlined the process is and how easy and quick navigating through the airport has been. So in my last flight, I also had the privilege and the opportunity to join the Clear experience. And that I just thought, oh my gosh, just when I thought it couldn't get better, here you have this clear navigation process to help us get through the lines faster than we already were. So
our goal is to keep it under 5 minutes. And for those who don't know this, you could actually go enjoy the terminals because we have new restaurants. We have Dunkin' Donuts, Chick-fil-A. We had a new bars. We have a bunch of other things going up there just recently going. And you could go in if you want to meet your loved one flying in on a plane. We'll give you a pass to go up. It's very simple to fill out, so you don't even have to be a ticketed passenger anymore. If you want to walk your loved one to the gate, you could do that too. So we're trying to be, again, back to the good old days of having fun airport experience and work with airline partners.
And in addition to that, you're continuously adding new routes. Please talk about some of the new routes that travelers can enjoy today.
Well, in the last 12 months alone, we have New Pacific Airlines to Nashville and to Reno. We have Southwest Airlines to Houston, Hobby, and Portland. Southwest is also traveling to Nashville now. United Airlines to Houston, Continental, and our major hubs is we go to JFK, in New York, Atlanta, Dallas, Charlotte, Phoenix. And so a lot of the hub flights, you can pretty much get to anywhere you need to get to if you fly out of Ontario and start going there. Frontier in April 2024 started daily routes to Seattle, Houston, and El Paso. We will be announcing another international flight to Asia in a month, but I can't do it today. But stand by. If you're planning for vacation to Asia or going there for business, please look us up in about a month because there's going to be a whole new airlines that we don't have in Ontario yet coming in. We're going to announce for as well. So exciting times.
Very, very exciting. So again, don't forget everybody, travel through Ontario International Airport. It's easy, it's seamless, it's fun, and I'm sure one of the many reasons why the county continues to earn these innovation awards through a National Association of County Officials. Thank you so much for your hard work and your dedication. And of course, we'll talk about the Chino Valley Fire District. We're in the middle of summer. We haven't even hit peak fire season, and we are experiencing a lot of devastating fires throughout California, Oregon, and thankfully not so many here locally. But please talk about why that investment is so important and what that investment is going to go towards.
We talk about feeling spoiled when we go through Ontario. That's what I feel like living in Chino Valley or the west end of the county. We have some fantastic agencies, the public safety agencies, whether it's the PDs, our sheriff's department, or our fire districts. Ontario and Chino Valley Fire are some of the top two in the nation, to be there. In San Bernardino County, a leader in many ways. So we try to, going back to the first segment, I believe that supporting public safety, to have safe neighborhoods, to really be prepared for those emergencies are important for us. So we're going to continue to invest in our public safety infrastructure and into our personnel. And we're going actually through a big process right now of a few months ago, the board awarded a new ambulatory contract to the local fire agencies. So we're still going through the transfer process. That may be a while before you see it, but we want those firefighters to embrace, again, technology, alternative destinations, to work with the county and its partners to really create a new public safety healthcare system in response. So the investment's well worth it. We're looking forward to the outcomes going forward.
That is so exciting. Please talk about the benefit of the fire department basically taking over those emergency response scenarios and how that will benefit the patient that is, been injured, the person that's been injured that has to be transported to a local hospital, trauma center, etc. Please talk about the efficiencies and the streamlined technologies that will be used to benefit patients in that sense.
No, it's awesome that we have the ability to work with our trusted public safety on the local level. So current system is you call 911, you may get a paramedic and an engine possibly, as well as an ambulance to show up. You as a patient have the right to be transported or not. But if you want to be transported, it has to go to the emergency room. And that's just the way the system is built. So this new system will give us flexibility to have you treated on site. Let's say you broke your finger, you just need to be a splint. You could do it at your home, or you need some meds. We have 80 some odd percent of the fire calls are for medical reasons, and some people unfortunately abuse the system. They call 911 because they ran out of their prescription, for example. That happens too frequently. But now we could, with this system working together, we can deliver that prescription to them without necessarily transporting to the emergency room. And a lot of people who need medical aid don't need to go to the emergency room, not because we don't want to give them the full care, but the emergency room is overbooked. And we saw, especially in COVID, 10, 12, 14 hours delay before you even saw a doctor just because the capacity wasn't there. But most of those people didn't need to go. So we're looking at new ways to be able to service that resident in their home or where they're at, if they can, to take them to urgent care, take their primary doctor care, take them to the pharmacy or the emergency room, whatever the need is done, by utilizing the newer technology. So when that paramedic's looking at you, it's going to be like the emergency room doctor looking at you, because all the same readings that the paramedic's seeing, he's seeing. He could talk to you, virtual, just like we're doing today. So integrate that new technology will provide more efficient, I think, healthier, more timely medical care to all those who need it based on the current system. So we're excited for that new change, and we're going to be working together to make that happen.
That is absolutely brilliant. I anticipate another award coming down the pipeline for that effort as well. I know you also, because you support innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth, you invested $1 million in the University of Laverne. Quickly tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. It's we want to have, again, train our residents. They have good quality paying jobs in the county. So it was a partnership with, they're getting investments from other places like Lewis Operating Company as well. They have an innovation small business incubator, as well as we have a nursing school there now, because those are the things that we need to keep supporting our healthcare system. So the county is happy to invest those into a new facility that will allow our residents to get good, higher quality education go forward.
Absolutely. So last question. Please talk about the landscape of San Bernardino County when you entered as supervisor, what you've been able to see and where it is today, and what you hope to see 5 years from now.
Well, that's a lot to do because I've been there for 11 years. But I would say, how about this? I'm always looking forward. This county is primed to continue on this growth trajectory, to have good working paying jobs, good family homes, recreation and entertainment all within here. So we're on the right path. Just know that your board is a fiscal conservative board. Unlike other counties, we paid off our debt, we paid off our pensions. We're in good, healthy financial grounds. We're going to continue to invest in the future of this county, and we're seeing the benefits of that going forward.
Very, very exciting work, Supervisor Hagman. Thank you so much for your dedication. Thank you for your fellow supervisors that are also, leading the charge for their segment of San Bernardino County. We look forward to future updates and more projects that are coming down the pipeline. For those that are listening, are you open to interfacing with the community? And if so, how can the community connect with you?
We do, and please go online. We have websites. We have all the social media, all the things we should have, as well as we go on the road all the time. When the coffees with Kurt, or we go present in front of the council meetings or different agencies, our partners in this, we're all working together. This is not an individual. This is a team effort from everybody trying to work on the same global vision. This Google on San Bernardino County and the different supervisors, all our connections there, as well as all the updates you get on the social media.
Perfect. Thank you so much for making the time to give us an update today, Supervisor Hagman.
Thank you for having me.
Perfect. All right. For everybody listening today, don't forget to find us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Check us out on scbrtalk.com. Okay, everybody, if you have not been, make sure you attend the last City of Ontario Summer Concert Series. Last one is going to be July 31st. Wednesday, starting at 7 p.m., located at 224 North Euclid Avenue in downtown Ontario. Get together with friends, shop the vendors, and have fun. Don't miss my interview with Joseph Rubio, liturgical director at St. Philip Benizi Catholic Church. Joe's journey of service began in the late 70s, working at summer camps for underprivileged children and continuing the passion into the 90s. He has also shared his knowledge by teaching catechism to various age groups, from second graders to adults. Joe has been an enthusiastic volunteer for numerous causes. In his current role as liturgical director, Joe is presented with various opportunities to support and connect with people in his parish, providing compassionate programs to their community. Next week, we will have Bay Area native Tony Geminani, who is a 13-time world pizza champion, 4-time Guinness World Record holder, author of Pizza Bible, prolific philanthropist, and renowned San Francisco restaurateur. A steadfast supporter of North Beach, Geminani's flagship restaurant, Tony's Pizza Napolitana, and eateries such as Capo's, Slice House, Toscano, Brothers Bakery, and Giovanni's Italian Specialties are rooted in San Francisco's historic Italian neighborhood. He's going to be talking about his new efforts coming into the Inland Empire and sharing the secrets behind his success next week. We will see you all. You do not want to miss it.